Welcome, KCIW listeners at 100.7, KCIW.org as well, Brookings, Oregon. And we are syndicated now. And so welcome, listeners at KZZH 96.7 FM, Access Humboldt, Eureka, California. Yes, this is Joyously Free with me, none better than the best-selling author, Joanie Lindenmeyer. I'm so glad you are tuning in. Well, I've been a resident of Harbor, Oregon for 34 years. I'm a retired Del Norte High School teacher and a 2025 Lambda-nominated author who has published 3 books in 2 years. Wow! I love life and I love being the producer and host of this show. I'm so glad you are here with us today. Well, as every show, here we go with our morning salutation. I'll begin by saying it's a brand new day, and your voluntary expression and participation is never been lived before. So here we go. It's a brand new day. Never been lived before. There we go. All right, congrats for saying that. So this Gadio show, as Will and Viv named it, is a show that talks about LGBTQ stories, tips, along with religion, church, faith, spirituality, and most importantly, joyously free moments. The purpose of the show is to share and radiate and spread that abundant joy and freedom. Hence the title, Joyously Free, which is also the name of my second book that I co-authored with Elizabeth Ann Atkins. In this radio broadcast, just as in my life in general, there's no hate speech, there's no hate behaviors, and no bullying. It will be blasted with the 3 C's, courage, confidence, and collaboration. And wait till you hear our guest today, loaded with courage and confidence. Yes. So be open-minded and as an open parachute. Before we begin, as usual, let's start with our quick little prayer. Let's open our hearts, asking our Creator to shine light on our community and our world. I excitedly believe in hope, in the power of the divine, and that Jesus, God, whatever name you put on a higher being, is always with us. So we don't need to be afraid or troubled, saddened or depressed. Joy and peace are an internal expression of love and harmony that is already within us, and we only have to reach deep within and let it out. All is well with my soul, for love is abundant and everlasting. So let's center ourselves first. Let's take a big, deep breath in with the good and out with any doubt. Breathe in through your nose with hope and out from your mouth with fears. Last one. Take a big, deep breath in with joy and happiness and out with worry or despair. In the name of our Mother Earth, our God, our Creator, Jesus, our Redeemer, the winds of the Holy Spirit, we say good morning. We read today from Luke. It's a conversation that Jesus had with Simon. And the quote is, "Do not be afraid. From now on, you will be catching people." I love that reading from the Bible. Do not be afraid. From now on, you will be catching people. What that said to me when I read that this morning was, we all have a way to touch other people. And you don't know how that comes about. It could be in your words. It could be in your smile. It could be in your eye contact. It could be that you draw them a picture. It could be you wave to them. But we're all able to catch other people, to touch other people. Oh, I'm just so grateful for so many quotes in the Bible that lead me to a divine way of looking at things. Sometimes our world needs more divinity than it does humanity, I guess. So anyway, those are my sweet reflections for today's. And I hope that your prayer right now with our Creator God is providing guidance and healing, that we believe and we know that we're here to do a bigger will than just our own. And so it's with that I'm excited to introduce you to a friend, a actor, a volunteer, a beautiful woman, Donna. And Donna is sparkling right now. Her eyes are just glistening. Beautiful lipstick on. Has a beautiful necklace, and maybe she'll talk about that. Beautiful red hair. I wish everybody could see her right now, but she just looks phenomenal, phenomenal. So our show today is called It's Showtime, a boost of self-esteem. And we're going to hear Donna's take on what that means. It's showtime and a boost of self-esteem. Donna, how are you doing today?
I'm doing very well. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh my gosh, my privilege and my pleasure to have you here. So tell me a little bit about you.
Well, I have actually lived in between Brookings and Gold Beach all my life for 26 years now. We were born in Portland, came down here a year later, and we have an older sister. We have a father and a loving mother. Mm-hmm. And just recently, my father moved to Klamath Falls, California.
Oh.
And he is living his own life, and me and mother are living ours. And we are just focusing on the here and now and moving forward from the past.
Right on, right on. And can you remind me, where did you and I meet, Donna?
You and I met at a wonderful Pride event down here at Azalea.
Yep, at Azalea Park. Was that this year or was it last year? I'm trying to remember.
It was this year.
It was this year. So we're new friends. We're getting to know each other, and it's been so fun. Your mom is just precious. Mom is just precious, precious. And so I'm so glad. And you're 26 years old. That is just amazing with your whole life ahead of you. So, with your relationship with your mom and your family, where would you say it is on the joyous spectrum?
Well, right now with my mother, it is better than ever. I've never seen my mother so mentally healthy in my entire life.
Awesome. And what do you think that came about by?
Her quitting certain substances, and me, myself, and I as well. And, learning to stop living in the past and learn that if we live in the past, we miss out on our present. Therefore, we affect our future.
Oh, very cool. That's why it's a brand new day. Never been lived before.
Exactly.
Yes, for sure. And congratulations. And it's a journey, isn't it?
It is. It really is. We are all on our own different journey, and sometimes what works for one doesn't work for another, and it's completely okay to have your own state of mind.
Absolutely. For sure. And how would you say your mom would respond to that?
Here, now, I'm here. Let's move on.
Yeah, the future's bright.
Yes.
The future's bright. So tell me, what is bright about your future, Donna?
Well, I've actually had a pretty rough upbringing. And the fact that I've had the chance to be able to detach myself from that past, I'm very excited about my future for the fact that I can go wherever I put my mind to, and I can touch whoever I wish, just by me being myself.
Oh, that's excellent. And so, who are you? Who are you, Donna?
I'm a mother. I'm a sister. I am just a humble person living in this existence with many other people.
Right on. And your talents. Talk to me about some of your talents. Because I know it's called showtime. It's showtime.
It is. I love to write. I love to sing and dance. I love to do art and draw. I also do a lot of sewing. I actually made this dress.
Oh, you did? It's gorgeous. I love the blue, just like a royal blue. Oh.
I just try and put all of my love and my light into what I'm doing, and that's different for every single day. Because like you had said, this day has never been lived before.
Yes.
And I love people. I love to connect with them.
And you're good at it. You can talk to a stick.
I guess if you say so.
Yes.
I guess it makes it true.
And you get these eyebrows that just go up that are so cute. They're so cute. So let's go back to showtime. You told me at one time that you were doing some acting.
Yes, we were in a lovely little number called Holy Cannoli and Holy Stromboli. It was a comedy shown up at Gold Beach Community Theater. Mm-hmm. And we ended up playing Anthony, John's gay best friend.
Okay.
And it was just an amazing experience to be able to work with so many talented people and be able to show a piece of ourselves on that stage that we don't get to actually express in every single day life.
Cool. And so how long did you practice your lines or be involved with the cast?
Well, with the cast, I was involved for 9 months for both the first show and the second show. We did them back to back. We did at least 3 to 4 months of rehearsal, of reading through the lines, and then 1 month of acting it out. And then we put it all together.
Wow. And I've never been to the theater in Gold Beach for a play.
Oh, well, you should really stop by sometime.
I need to do that. Yes. So describe it for me. What's the theater like?
When I walk into the theater, I am reminded of an opera house.
Oh.
There are masks everywhere, beautiful drapes. There's this lovely stand where you can get your tickets, get your food and everything. They have all types of antique furniture in there. You get a glimpse of the past brought into the present, things that we don't really get to share anymore and experience, let alone with the art of acting, which goes back for countless generations.
Yes. And when did you first start acting?
I first started acting when I was 15.
Okay. And tell me more.
My very first thing I ended up doing was I started doing makeup at 15 for the shows. I wasn't in any other productions until I was 17. I was in a singing number with my older sister. I never would have started singing if it wasn't for her.
Oh.
We were in a variety show, and we were singing Hide and Seek. It's a really creepy little song, and I did the makeup of us being as cracked dolls.
Okay.
And it was so fun, so freaking scary. Honestly, every single time I go out on stage, I still have that fear. It was a moment never to forget.
How do you conquer your fear?
I tell myself something that my mother's always told me since I was a child. This too shall pass. And if I can hold out just long enough, something's going to happen and it's going to be wonderful.
Oh, I love it. That's a joyously free attitude. Definitely, for sure. So you talked about singing with your sister.
I used to sing opera.
Oh, are you going to belt out a few things right now?
I'm afraid not.
Okay.
At least not opera-wise.
Listeners out there, you're going to have to find Donna at a play that she's in.
I guess. I don't really sing in the plays I do now. But I used to sing. I used to sing a lot up till I was 22. I suffered a propane accident. I was homeless at the time, living in a tent. And my 7-gallon propane tank was leaking one night. And I had no clue. I had already went to bed. And so I woke up the next morning. I was sick to my stomach, and I thought it was my nicotine levels low. So I didn't bother opening up my door because I didn't smell anything. I lost my sense of smell from inhaling that propane, those fumes all night.
Wow.
And I flicked my lighter, and no big boom, just a small little shh, and the gas was ignited. I ended up scorching 80% of my body in 2nd and 3rd degree burns. I scorched my esophagus and my left lung. And I also scorched my vocal cords.
Oh, my gosh. And so to the hospital you went?
I went up to Emmanuel Burns Center up in Portland, right next door to where I was born.
Oh, that's sort of cute.
Right.
Oh, my gosh. So you must have had a team of incredible doctors and medical people.
I did. I wanted to give up on myself after that. All I could think of is, why me? Why? And that is such a sad mindset to be in. It took me a good 2 years to learn how to sing again. I'm nowhere near of what I used to be, but that's okay because we're all constantly evolving. We can never be who we once were even a year ago because that is past. We can't change it. We can only change the here and now. And so I've had to learn, like I said, it's been a journey to learn to get to re-know myself and all sides of myself.
Wow. I can't even imagine that many burns. You said 80%?
Yes. The tops of my hands.
Oh, look.
Reason
at
why
that.
they're purple, all the way down my legs and this half of my face.
Oh, my gosh.
The right side.
Wow. And I cannot even tell by looking at your face.
I had an amazing team. I accepted no surgeries, but I also have always been into herbs my entire life. I actually soaked my bandages in chamomile tea. Chamomile has very special enzymes in it that reboost the skin growth cells in the body. And also a lot of raw white onions are really good for taking care of healing scars.
Wow. And I tell you, everybody, if you could see Donna right now, her face looks like she's a movie star. It is just so soft and glistening right now. It's just absolutely gorgeous. Oh, geez. So
Thank you.
You are smart. You invent your own treatments, I guess.
Yes, I do a rosemary wash for my hair. Keeps it curly, keeps it light and oil free. I use a lot of lavender rose hips and rose water. And I just soak my face in that for a good 15 minutes. Wipe it off with the rag. I do sugar scrubs, body oils, body butters, which I had inherited and learned making those things from my mother when we lived on our farm.
Okay.
And she would make our soap, our shampoo, our laundry soap. She would make everything from scratch then.
Wow. Wow. And so all those natural products add to your beauty.
Yes.
And you inhale those beautiful scents, all the lavender and the, I'm trying to remember all the names you mentioned now. Yeah, rose hips. But you inhale that, and it affects your energy, doesn't it?
Yes, actually, what we put into our body really does have the key ingredient of what we put out. While healing in the burn hospital, I only would eat one thing: organic fruits and vegetables. If you ingest life flows from you, but if you eat death, meat, cheese, that's all you're going to get. Mm-hmm. So I chose to eat live foods and healthy foods.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful. That's wonderful. What a great tip for everybody listening today, huh? Changing how you eat can change who you are.
What you ingest will always come out. What goes into your eyes goes into your heart and comes back out your mouth. That's something my mother has always told me, and it's so true.
Yeah. You have a wise mother, Donna. You have a wise mother. Yes. So let's go back to some of the stage things. You conquered the fear. This too will pass. What are the joys about being on stage?
Well, you quite actually well put it in the beginning. It was being able, in that reading earlier, which is being able to reach other people, being able to connect with them, being able to relate with them on so many different levels. I mean, just like you had said, a smile can encourage someone to hang on for another day. People have no clue what their words, their actions, how they really do affect the world around them and the people. It's like a ripple effect.
And you are always so kind. You always say thank you and please, which I so admire that about you. But back to stage. When you're on stage, Donna, do you actually see the people's eyes in the audience?
No. I always space out.
Uh-huh.
I don't focus on the audience. I focus on what I'm showing off, what I am presenting, the side of me I'm sharing. Because if I look at the audience in their eyes, I'm breaking the illusion of the fact that this is supposed to look natural. It's supposed to be authentic. But if I'm looking at someone directly in the eyes, saying my lines,
right,
I break that whole barrier that we work so hard to create.
Yep. And this is all wrapped around self-esteem, isn't it?
Yes, and I've gotten to work with many amazing first-time actors, and it is always the biggest blessing is being able to see where they first started and see how they use what they learn and the beautiful bud they blossom into. It's a gift not many are able to witness.
So what would you say to young teenagers that want to act but maybe have fears, maybe I don't know what might be going through them, what would you recommend to them?
That's a good question,
Because you're such a role model.
It does not matter what other people think of you. To be quite honest, it's none of your business what others think of you. What matters is what you think of yourself. So if you want to do it, the only one stopping you is you.
Oh, that's powerful. That's powerful. Yes. And or not stopping you, it's what can it produce for you?
Only you can get it started, and only you can stand in your own way. It's all the mindset. If you believe in yourself, you'll be able to do things you never thought possible. Even if you are the only one believing in yourself and all those around you think you cannot do it. As long as you believe, you make it real and you make it so.
So what are some tips that you have used to help you to believe that about yourself, which might help somebody else? What are some tips of how you've done that?
In order to learn facial expressions, having autism, I have Asperger's autism, I have a very hard time recognizing what facial expressions mean. So growing up, I used to have a mirror with me at all times. So I could feel the feeling, I could see the facial expression I was making, and I could relate with my own facial expressions because it was quite a very lonely childhood when I had no ability to communicate through speech. I didn't start speaking until I was 10 years old.
Oh, wow.
And so I learned to write, I learned to draw, I learned to dance and use my body language. But I had to first get to know myself in order to express that. And that is a journey all of us actually are all on, is getting to know ourselves, which is actually the most important relationship you are ever going to have in this life. It's with yourself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So true. So true. It's so interesting as you said that, because just the other day, I normally love to go on to the beach and go on my cardio walks, really pumping it up and doing great for my exercise. And I got out there and it was so still. I thought, I just want to stroll today. I just want to be with my best friend, myself. Can you relate to that?
Yes, I go down to the beach every other night. Actually, I do it at night. Mm-hmm. And because, the world is quiet, I can actually hear my own thoughts. Mm-hmm. And I'll just sit for hours and I'll sing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. To yourself and to the world.
I'll sing about what I'm feeling. I'll sing to the mermaids, whoever listens.
And speaking of mermaid, what are you wearing around your neck?
A beautiful mermaid pendant I was able to acquire from Wildwood, which is a little shop here right across the street from Subway. An amazing little shop. It has so many beautiful things in it. Home decor, art, beauty products. Like, if you can think of it, it's in there. Uh-huh. And it's such a beautiful, chic boutique.
I love it. Yes, and your necklace is just glowing right now. It's just shimmering in the light here in the studio. It's just beautiful. It's just beautiful. Oh my gosh. You have hit on so many points, and I know we still have some time. I guess one of my questions would be is, where do you see your life going from here?
I honestly want to try and go back to school. I was the very first child or person in both sides of my family to actually graduate high school. Everyone on my father's side and everyone on my mother's side dropped out. They never graduated. And that was actually my first dream, was to be the first one to go to high school and complete. And due to being homeschooled, I didn't have enough credits to get the diploma, but I had enough to get basically a GED. Mm-hmm. But I still walked down that graduation aisle, and I didn't give up. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And to be quite honest, being a woman in a man's body, I faced a lot that probably isn't even appropriate to share on here, but I faced a lot and I learned a lot. And that's where I really learned that it doesn't matter what other people think of me, because it's none of my business. What matters is how I think and see of myself.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And so where are you going to go from here? You talked about school.
I want
what does that look like?
Hopefully become a drug and alcohol counselor.
Oh.
I was homeless from the day I graduated, 19 years old, 2019, actually ending of 2019, around the pandemic, 2020. Mm-hmm. I was living in a car with my mother who had substance abuse. Mm-hmm. And I lived a very rough life then for a good 6 years. I ended up learning firsthand about human trafficking. Me and my mother were sold. It's easy to pick off the homeless because who thinks of the homeless? Who cares when someone goes missing? They're all people and they're all hurting. That's why they use what they use and they do what they do, because the world has given up on them, and so they give up on themselves. Yeah. I wouldn't be where I am or who I am today if I haven't have gone through the trials and tribulations I have gone through. What I think I'm most proud of is the mindset I've carried throughout all tribulations. That way, when I look back, I can see how far and how strong I really am. Because it really is. It all starts in the mind. If I didn't have a certain mindset, if I would have stayed in woe is me, oh poor me, it's all about me, I would never have escaped such things. And I know that, in this town, a lot of things go on and people are too scared to talk about it. And yet when someone talks about it, what is the easiest way to shut someone down? You blame the victim. And so they're therefore scared to speak their truth, what they lived. That was me for a long time. I was scared to admit that I had lived through human trafficking, that I had seen men do brutal things to other humans, things that I should never have witnessed. And it was so sad. That's when I really learned that it all starts with me. What I choose to do from here on out will affect not only myself, but those around me. And I wish to shed light on many dark things just by sharing my experience. I used to have substance abuse only after I survived the mountain. That was the time where I had chosen to become comfortably numb. And I went for some hard-hitting stuff for a good 3 years. The same stuff my mother was on. And again, it had to start with me, and so I chose to quit.
Yeah.
And a year later, my mother found the courage to quit. My father, though, however, has not quit, and he wanted to keep us on it because we were more compliable to it.
Yeah.
But I've learned firsthand through my own experience that it is always darkest before the dawn.
Perfect. And is it okay if we end with that? Would you repeat that one more time?
It is always darkest before the dawn, but if you can hang on, this too shall pass.
Absolutely. You are so wise. I so appreciate you being here, being on a live radio in our community and down in Humboldt. Listeners, has this been incredible? I want to thank everybody on the Oregon coast and the Northern California coast for being with us today on Joyously Free. We hope that you have been inspired, challenged, and enjoyed the stories, tips, hopes, and the abundant love that Donna has shared today. You can order any of my books, which also bring about confidence and courage as well. But most importantly, we want to thank KCIW, Mike Gorse on the sound, Tom, Candace, and Rose for always making this happen. We also want to thank the KZZH people in Humboldt County. Remember, you can share this. You can re-listen to it. Donna had a zillion high points today. Mic drops, as I think we'd call them in the stage world. And her self-esteem is phenomenal. So I look forward to everybody having a beautiful day. And as we always say, smile big and wear bright colors, even a bright blue dress like Donna. Thank you, Donna, for being here. You're the best.
Thank you.